How we doing? It's bright and early, crack of dawn morning. Oh wow, it's been a long 2 weeks. Um, been kind of slacking on my YouTube, but I gotta get a better plan together. Um, you know, for videos and other things. Good morning, Mike. Good morning. How we doing? How we doing? Um, just thought I'd start a little early. Uh, Still ain't got nothing, but no. Yeah, I love saying that. But it's just been a long 2 weeks. Uh, Normally, I stay on this side of the country. I'm presently in Texas, heading towards Brownsville, Texas, which is that's one of the places where we send stuff across the border into Mexico for them to do whatever, manufacturing wise. Um, but I have been from Louisville, Kentucky to San Diego, California to I think it's I believe Brownsville, California, which is up there near Oakland. Don't quote me on that, but it's a Dow Chemical spot where I pick up stuff and had to take that back to Louisville, Kentucky. Um, and I mean, I'm struggling right now. Not really, but with hours because it just normally I don't. I can only do 3,000 miles a week, but this one, the way it's set, I'll be able to hit about 4,000 miles, and I get paid a certain amount of it ain't dollars. I wish it was. Uh, I get a certain amount for the distance that I do, and this I'm actually gonna break my record. And it's all good, but I'm I'm looking at getting it there today, just for one reason because of the holiday. I might be stuck in Texas, and I'm already mentally prepared for it if I can't get a load out tomorrow. So this is this is the normal routine of what I go through, and it's no big deal. It's no big deal. Normally I call this motivational Monday, which is still a motivation because you know the fact is, good morning, welcome in, welcome in. The fact is that I'm always telling you guys that I check myself. I'm constantly checking myself, and then I was kind of reminded that I forgot some stuff, and I think my subconscious kind of made me forget to protect me. And what am I saying by that? Is because I said, I was in a bad situation. Well, actually, my fellow YouTubers, it was worse than that. It was worse than that. And I've been acting like, yeah, I made it through, and yada yada yada. You can do it too, yada yada yada. Yeah, you know, but it was worse than that. And someone popped back into uh, my life for a short period of time to remind me of how bad it was, and and I don't mind to say it, how I was crying all the time, and and, and what it was, guys, man, I lived an effed up life. Um, you know, I spent most of my teenage years watching my father beat the piss out of my mother. Um, when I finally decided to stand up to him and tell him that he's not going to do that no more, he threatened my life. I had this was what I had to live with. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying, boo hoo, feel bad for me. I used to be that way. No, don't feel bad for me because look, I made it through. But, because of those situations, I developed, um, a high sensitivity, because there was so much violence in the home and you didn't know when it was going to pop up, when it was going to happen. I'm not saying it happened all the time because I read up on this, and that's why I developed. I was able to feel a room, so I can sense emotions a mile away. I can call out bullshit, but I couldn't call out bull crap when it came to people, you know, addressing it to me. You know what I mean? I was just a sucker, and I have to admit that so I can move on because I realized once I started doing these lives that I had a lot of unresolved negative energy. And that's okay also because when you recognize it, then you can work on it and you can fix it. I had a lot of unresolved negative energy. And what do you mean by that? Is I just forgot a whole lot of stuff and didn't like let it go. And lately, since I have been re-talking about it and going through it again, a lot of this stuff I've been letting go, which is freaking awesome, you know, because counseling costs money, and bro, I ain't got it. I'd rather spend it on a vacation. I'd rather spend it on my wife. I'd rather spend it on another lawnmower. You know what I mean? But I'm good because I have friends that even to this day they still hold their tongue, which I'm very appreciative of. They said, "Yeah, because I guess it was like, man, I've been waiting for you to say that. I had to tell you, you was like blah blah blah," and I'm like, "Really? Wow." And a lot of times I don't say, "I'm sorry that I put you through it." I'm sorry that I put you through it, but I did go through it. I did. I did. I had to go through it. And what kind of breaks my heart is the stuff that I went through in my mid 40s is stuff that I should have went through in my late teens, early 20s, but I didn't because I got married. I got married too soon, too quickly, thinking I was going to be better at marriage than my parents, and better at marriage than the next guy. Sometimes you know you. I'm gonna say it this way: don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush to grow old. Don't be in a rush to fix the problem. Don't be in a rush to address the problem, but search the problem out and see about rectification, rectifying it. See about how can I fix it? How long is it going to take? A lot of people have said that it took 10, 20, 15 years for you to be this messed up. It's going to take 10, 20, 15 years for you to be fixed up or repaired. Um, and that's all good because the repair process is better than the destruction process. The tear down, it's better. The build up is better. The build up is the point that helps you get to the point of feeling better about yourself. You know, I lived a long span of my life thinking that I was a piece of shit. Honestly, today I know I'm not, and I'm driving as we see driving in the dark. I know I'm not a piece of crap. I am somebody, you know, and I'm a smart individual. And just like I said, you are, and whoever, somebody needs to hear this. You're somebody. There's nothing wrong with you. You're good. You're wonderful. You're blessed. Try not to be stressed. You are a blessed individual. God loves you for you. We try to force like this age where I'm I'm I was born a daggone man, but I want to be a woman, and I got to shove it down your throat. Well, I'm not. We say this homophobic or whatever. Phobic means that you're afraid of something. I'm not afraid of no daggone body. I might disagree, but that's the point of being an American. We can agree to disagree. Now, but that doesn't mean that I need to beat you up and do all this evil stuff to you. No, you have the right to do whatever you want, just like I have the right to do what I want. I have the right to be treated like crap because I allowed it. And the reason why I allowed it, because for some sycophant reason, I thought that was love. I thought that was love. Like you hear that song, I want to know what love is. I want you to show me. You know, we we got this situation going on in our society, especially between black men and black women. I don't know where you women are finding these nut jobs. As soon as they get with you, they don't want to work. But guess what? I had an ex-wife like that. We just bought a house. We just bought the house. I was struggling. She decided I don't need to work no more and quit her job. I don't need no work no more and quit her job. Till this day, she hates me. I never did nothing to her. And whatever I did, I profusely apologized and worked the whole marriage to be forgiven. And this, highly religious woman that never forgave. I was clueless. I didn't know how to be married. I didn't know how to give love. I didn't know because I'd never seen it. I was never shown it. I was never taught it. We have these situations that we see, and you got to be the provider. You got to do this. You got to do that. But I'm not listening to you. I'm not getting with someone who makes 50, 60,000. You got to make two, 300,000. You know. Well, my situation, I'm a truck driver. I don't make them 2 or 300,000. I could if I listen to Charles, but I don't. I don't want to be stressed like that. That's a lot of stress. I don't want to be stressed like that. I like to just give me the load. Let me get there. Do what I got to do, and I'm going to do what I got to do. You know. But the thing about being motivated, at my age, I'm going to be 56 in September. At my age, I'm not stressing about this. I'm not stressing about the little things as much as I used to. You know, my my attitude has switched, and the reason I don't even have a good reason, but it switched on its own. And the thing is, before 8 years ago, I attract. It's like blood in the water. I attract narcissistic uh, partners. I don't even know how but I'm happy. I'm happy that it happened. I don't know how my wife now, and I've always said I was an answer to her prayer, not her being an answer to mine. But I thank God that I fell into the plan and God's plan to see the outcome, and I will always be grateful that God decided to give me a second chance at life, a second chance at learning a relationship, a second chance at understanding that there is give and take. This generation now, no, it ain't give and take. It's because I chose the wrong ninja so many times because that's what I'm attracted to. I'm attracted to stupid. I'm attracted to idiots. I'm attracted to low lives because that's exciting to me. I don't want a 9 to 5 person that goes to work, comes home, and it's boring until I've been ran through and nobody else wants me anymore. That's what I don't understand. But guess what? I'm not here to say anything. Do you, boo boo? But I want to give y'all something. The reason I can laugh about it now because I've always said I've been dogged out by the worst. So whatever you throw at me, you can't you can't do me as bad as I've been done. You know, I remember. I think it was a defense mechanism because it was to the point. I was losing my house in Dallas, Georgia. Wife wouldn't work, wouldn't even. They would go out and eat. Her mother, and my son, and not bring me home nothing. Not in really knowing I was hungry. But thank God for being a fat behind. I was pushing 300 plus. I could go without a meal, but I remember this happening many a time, many times. You know, for a long time I hated her. I mean, totally despised. I mean, I just hated her, and I can't tell you when I let it go, but it's gone. Now I feel sorry for her. You know, I feel sorry for her because you know I don't know if those people that give you the counsel or whatever they give you, things to practice, and they say, everybody's so quick to say, let it go, get over it, just get over it by, whatever. Well, sometimes my fellow YouTubers getting over something or getting over a past hurt takes a whole lot longer for certain people than it does for your behind that you think you know everything. I don't know nothing. And I don't pretend to tell you that I do know nothing. But most of the stuff that I talk about is something that I've been through. Most of the stuff that I talk about is something that I can relate to. When you relate, you can understand. We had people like, I don't take this, and you bet you blah blah blah. You got to do this and blah blah blah. You know, I've spent my whole life trying to figure out life. It's so funny when I finally said, forget this. I give up. I give up. I'm not trying. I'm not overthinking this no more. I give up. And that's when things started to change. You know, that's when my attitude started to change. I was talking to, a buddy, he said, man, you was to a point where you just hated women. I hated them because I let them hurt me. But I knew I tried to be, this a-hole that didn't care, but I can't help it. I care. So I kept on going down the same path, letting other people throwing my feelings out there, rolling the dice, and hitting snake eyes. Hitting snake eyes. And once again, when I finally gave up and checked my attitude, it's funny how the subconscious works. It says, look, you're just hurting yourself intentionally at this point. I'm just gonna slowly remove some of this stuff. Let you just forget it on your own. So you can let this go and move on. And move on with the fact that I'm gonna put so much positive vibes in your path that you got no choice but to heal. You got no choice but to move on. And I honestly, I can't give you the date and the time when I moved on. I can't give you the date and time when I let this go, I let that go. But boy, it does feel wonderful. Boy, it does feel good to let it go. I feel like a child in kindergarten class just learning the basics to understand that, hey, just, let's count this, let's count this as a learning lesson and move on. And the child in me going, no, no, you're supposed to give a flip about me. You're supposed to care. And it's funny how God works. He says, you know what? You didn't trust in me with all your heart. You didn't you leaned always to your own understanding. In all the ways you did not acknowledge me to direct your path. I just been waiting for you to acknowledge me so I can point you in the right direction. So I can point you to the right person that is going to love you for you. She's still going to be a pain in the butt here and there. But by the time you realize that, you're going to be deeply in love with her. You feel me? You're going to be deeply, unadulterated in love with this person. You're going to build up your self-esteem. You're not going to be cold-hearted, but you're going to build up. You're going to make rational instead of irrational decisions because you had no chance in your teenage life. You had no chance in your young adult life, your mid adult life. You didn't have a chance. Well, now I'm finally going to give you that chance. I'm finally going to point you in the right direction, and you're going to learn valuable lessons along the path that I got for you. And the main one is stay in your lane. You see how we're driving right now? I'm going to teach you to stay in your lane. And you're gonna be, and as usual, you're gonna be dumb enough to move out of your lane, and then I'm gonna scare you enough to put you right back in your lane. A lot of times and that's what, yeah, I understand. Everybody wants a business, but you got to build up your brain power. You got to build up your endurance to have that business. You got to build up your endurance to have that relationship. You got to build up your endurance to be a part of this YouTube family. You know, I'm going through, it's still there, but it started to slow down. I got to start working on my watch time hours. No, I don't want people to run my watch list. If you do one or two and come back later, because that new algorithm, that thing, it'll sense that you running the clock, and then it might invalidate my page. And I don't want all this work I done did. Shoot, man, please, I can wait. But I'm still talking about the endurance. Check your attitude. I remember I was that person where you come to my page, watch my page. Uh, that's having an attitude. So I had to remove my attitude from the situation. You know, do stuff that I want to do, and like and enjoy the stuff that I want to enjoy. I appreciate the love that's given. I appreciate, you know, um, people that's looking out for me, because when you fix your attitude, you start noticing more and more blessings. A lot of them blessings stand you in the face, but you don't realize. You know, look at this. I'm single, and I don't want a man. I don't need a man, and when I need you, I'll let you know. Well, I want I want and need my wife, and she don't. She don't even realize. She don't even know the mess and the situations that I was in, because it was bad. So I let her know from time to time, I want you, I need you, and I appreciate you in my life. She says, "Well, you'd have been all right." Nah. And I want you to know that I ain't got, we like, don't throw in all your cards. Nah, I throw in all my cards, because I want you to know how I really feel. Because I don't want, because yes, I work all the time, but I'm waiting for that feeling. Actually, that feeling is probably gonna come right after I get my $5,000 bonus, which is about 2 years down the line. I'm hanging in for that one, you know. um, but I'm almost to the point of either getting a local job or a work Monday through Friday and home on the weekends. And I'm good with that too, because when I do that, when I go that route, it's going to be, I'm going to, get some magnets to put on my pickup truck, and opening up to, my lawn care, try, give it this lawn care thing a try, but start out slow, do minimum charge and see if it grows. You know what I mean? I'm not just gonna sit here and quit my job and man, please, my wife would kill me, and I'm not that type of person. But I'm going to throw the dice out there, but minimal. Something I could do on the weekends, and if it grows, it grows. You know what I mean? But again, when we check our attitude, you really see the difference in the blessings that happen. You know, I remember I was listening on one live that, yeah, I want to date, but you got to have your own home. You got to have this, got to have that. You know why women say that? It's because, they are divorced or separated or whatever, and they put up. And see, this is the thing. You just think that you put up with that man all those years, and you just gonna not have another man living with you, blah blah blah. But guess what? He put up stank behind too. You see what I'm saying? He put up with your snoring and I don't snore. I'm a woman. Well, shoot, boy, you don't even know. He put up with a lot of stuff. Well, what did he put up? It's the same thing over and over. What did he put up with? What? Give me a freaking break. It's always an answer with an answer. You know what I mean? Then it becomes a shouting match. It's always an answer with give me well no, no. Instead of checking yourself, like that one that rabbit check yourself or you wreck yourself. Instead of checking yourself, and I realized subconsciously, yeah, I would love to have met Norma years ago, but I wasn't ready to meet her years ago. I'd have messed that all up. I would have literally messed all of my situation up. Do you see what I'm saying? And see, we have to understand that it's God has His plan. Even though I'm like, Lord, it took long enough. He still has His plan. He knew that I was a freaking moron. He knew that it took me a little bit longer to understand and realize that I was a little problem. He knew that I needed a whole lot of repairing, a whole lot of fixing, a whole lot of understanding before I was ready. He knew that I needed that right person that had been through something also, that had been through a situation where their last husband was a moron, and anybody that was even a little bit better, that even had a hint of potential, was worth giving it a try with. Yeah, we can have, you know, values or standards, but sometimes we need to have a reality check. And sometimes you got to say to yourself, what is the bare minimum? What is the bare minimum I'm really willing to take? And I'm not saying just I'm taking anybody, but when you have a bare minimum, and then you can make your wants and need list from that bare minimum to say, even that person has potential, but you got to look deep into that to see if that's it. They have good intentions, a good heart, more understanding. I remember, see, Norman don't think she ain't had no problem, but one of the things she used to do is compare me to her ex-husband. I mean, would just straight out say it, and I had to inform her stop doing that. And I said, people say, stop talking about down on yourself. Well, that's how I talk to myself because I'm hard headed, and that's how I listen. And the fact is that she was saying, well, my husband, not knowing how much I used to drink. And she was bragging about my ex-husband would have a pint of Bacardi and a six-pack of beer. He never slurred his voice. But what people don't realize, if you stop drinking for a long time, that little bit of whatever will knock you the heck out. But in my teens, I drank a whole lot more than I'm gonna come on here and admit in my in my young adult years, a whole lot more than that. But then I ain't gonna come on here and admit. But I did the I'm gonna quit to save my family and all this other stuff. And you know, when you gonna stop something, you gotta do it for yourself. That's one thing, women. You need to say, if you love me, you stop doing this and you stop doing that, and you stop doing this and that. And see, that's where you're actually planting a seed for a whole lot of resentment later on in your situation. You're literally planting a seed. I watched on the Steve Harvey show this woman, and I was screaming into my phone. She said, "How can I get my husband, to stop riding his motorcycle?" And Steve Harvey asked her. He said, "Was he riding that bike before he met you?" "Yeah." "Was he riding that bike when he was with you?" "Yeah." "And he's riding that bike after he married you?" "Yeah." And then Steve Harvey asked the man to stand up and said, "Sir, do you love your wife?" He said, "More than life itself." He said, "Would you die for her?" He said, "Heck yeah." He didn't even hesitate. He didn't even hesitate. And he looked at him and said, "Man, stop asking that man to stop doing something that he loves. Sit back and understand. Stop trying to stop people from doing. Because when a person is ready to stop doing something, they'll stop. Like I just told you, all that drinking I used to do. Now I look at it and go, I don't need that. Oh, oh, man, that's gonna tear up my stomach. Oh, ah, when you leave it to the person instead of copping an attitude, you'll be in gratitude because they decided on their own to let it go. Because when a man decides on his own to let it go, it's gonna be gone. And boy, I lived so much on hurt and pain that it became an aphrodisiac after a while. But that's all I knew. But 8 years ago, I learned through, I don't know how I learned, but it just hit me. Wait a minute, this ain't hurt and pain. This is regular life, and it don't feel that bad. It doesn't feel as bad it used to be, and it gets better, and it makes you want to do something. It makes you want to be thankful. It makes you want to be grateful. It makes you want to have gratitude instead of blaming everybody else. Because I could have blamed everybody else, and I could have stayed on that whole notion that I hate every last woman in this freaking world and in my life. But if I sit back and recognize that I was in a sexless marriage for so many years, that I was in a situation where no one showed me affection, that when I finally had enough and couldn't understand, I got in that truck. I swore the day I got in that truck, I'm never coming back. Yeah, I know it sounds stupid, but I swore in that truck, I was never coming back. And it didn't dawn on me that the first 2 years I was on the road, that was a legal separate, that in the sight of the law, that was a legal separation. Isn't that crazy? And it's like that Game of Thrones. It's like Game of Thrones, where at the end of the whole series, one of I think one of she later become the queen. She said, I'm a slow learner, but when I learn, I learn." And I was like, wow, that's me. I mean, I'm a real slow learner, but when I learn, I learn. And but back to it, I had an attitude because and when I did some deep soul searching, it really wasn't these women's fault that hurt me. It was my own because I was so desperate for love and affection. I allowed them to hurt me. People are only going to hurt you when you allow it. When you look past the 3,200 red flags that are just screaming at you. Do you see what I'm saying? And when you get up from crying yourself stupid, why is this happening to me? Oh. And when you check yourself, wow, this is happening to me because one, I don't love myself. Two, I don't appreciate myself. Three, I keep blaming myself for stuff I had no control over. I keep thinking God is punishing me and not thinking maybe it's the devil or maybe I'm so stupid that I need to understand and see and remove the shackles off my eyes and see that whoever that person that I let hurt me was not shit from the get-go, was ever going to be shit and was a piece of shit. And I refuse to recognize that that's what they were. I remember when it's so funny. Me and Norma had went on our first date, which was actually walking Stone Mountain, and I remember driving her over to her car, which was the Sanford and Sunmobile, and, and driving off. And I went back to her father's shop. There, everybody knew I was going on a walking date, and they all asked what type of car was she driving. And I remember, I said it nonchalantly because I meant it. I didn't care. I wanted someone. I just, yes, hopeless romantic. I wanted someone to love me because I didn't know what it was. And I said, well, I said she's driving some type of BMW convertible, and they all jumping up. Ah, wow, 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 she got money, blah blah. And, and always thinking about, um, you know, abusing the situation. And then later on, I found out that all the people that dated her did that. And I didn't have much money at the time, and I told her, but when we go out, you know, I don't like when a woman pays. I want to pay. And the only time Norma pays now, or our joint account is when we're she wants to go somewhere where she wants to go. So it's kind of like I'm throwing you a carrot. Look, I'll pay. Oh, okay. And most of the time that's Red Lobster. Most of the time. But later on, she would tell me that when I said that, she was so excited that she found someone that thought like that. Because when they found out how much money she made, you know, they treated her different. Well, you know what? I don't even know how much money she technically makes. I know she makes more than me, and I know she makes almost double what I make, or close to it. But I don't care. She runs the house, and we both contribute, and but she contributes more, and it's just how we live. But every once in a while, I got to check myself. It's like, okay, she paid this, paid that. It's like we got a cruise coming up next July on the horizon. No, next June on the horizon, and I was like, okay, she's been paying for this. Okay, I got to man up and let me pay for. So I put on one of my credit cards, and I just had a laugh, and I said they took the first payment out yesterday, and I was like, oh, it's killing me. And I was just joking, and you could hear her giggle because you know I just want her to know that she's worth it. So, and again, I don't want to know what she makes, not because that I'm nosy or whatever, but I don't want to be one of those people or you make that much money, you pay for it all the time. No, that's not right. That it's not right. So, but back to this, the thing about me checking myself, checking my attitude, so I can learn to have more gratitude. When I started realizing that I allowed these people to walk all over me, and the reason behind it was this, and this. But the main reason was I was so eager to please, and desperate for affection that I allowed anything. in anybody. But when I said, okay, enough's enough, I keep on doing the same thing over and over. I keep on attracting the same people, you know, and it's like this, when I talk about being an empath, which is a highly sensitive individual to emotions and stuff, I soak it up like they on crack cocaine. The 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 downside, which I didn't realize, is I attract narcissistic women and narcissistic people in my life. So I had to learn how to have healthy boundaries and let people know that I wasn't the one. And once I learned those just simple steps, I was going to attract the right person. And this is how I know it was God because, you know, I'm always in someone's life, and you'd be proud of me. I stayed out and just listened. But I used to get on these. I used to get on these dating sites and just start shit. I would start a fight, and I would be on multiple levels of arguing while I'm driving my truck. This is before I got listening to YouTube and all this other stuff. This is before all these other things. But I would sit there and be fighting with five different women on a dating site because you know how the women have their list. They would have this list. I need a man with six pack abs. I need a man to make a minimum of this. I need you to be 6'2" or 6'3". I need you to not be fat. I need you to, it was a long list. Well, I got tired of seeing that, so I had a long list too. And I remember one of them, if I remember right, I said, if you have your profile picture and it's nothing but your face, that means that you're a fat ass. Now, guys, don't get me wrong. I was 300 plus at the time that I said that. So I was a fat behind too. And I didn't have a six pack, I had a cake, you know. And I would just, and I said, what was the other one? If you were, if you're, it had something to do with bipolar. Keep it moving. I mean, just, and I was going through it. And I said, and I put on that no one cares that you have a doctorate in whatever. No, I mean, I went down the line. I was doing something that Kevin Samuels was doing, years later, you know. But and I was and I would sit there and start these fights. I was just having a ball. And I know we're talking about me checking my answer, but you'll understand in just a second. I was having a ball, and I was letting go a lot of hurt because I let these people hurt me. And I was just drawing on that negative energy. And I mean I was ruthless at one point, and I was just taking it out on whoever would answer. And I remember I was that's why you're going to be alone uh, with your herd of cats because you're going to be the cat lady. Nobody gonna want you. So why you bothering with me? I mean, and man, I was going at it. And I remember one day I finally said, you know what? None of these women did anything to me. I need to stop. So I literally was deleting my profile. I had all this stuff on there, which was a bunch of malarkey. I had all this stuff on there, which was a bunch of crap. And right before I tell this story all the time. Right before I was going to delete, I love walking. And I was thinking when I wrote that, I love walking. Yeah, walking to the liquor store. God, help me, Lord. And that's when I got a message, and that's when Norma had answered. I like walking too, you know. And literally over time, my attitude went from all of that hatred. I ain't gonna say it went to all that hatred to peace, but it went to a point of you know what, it is what it is. Take it for a learning experience, you know, and this woman let me know that all of y'all ain't like that. That's why I respect her like I do. You know what I mean? That's why I respect her like I do. And I remember I told her, I said, no, yeah, cause I've been running for a minute. I tell her, look, I appreciate you. I miss you. I'm ready to go home. I just hold hands or something. You know, been out here a minute, and those points of reassurance, the points of letting your partner know, the points of checking yourself and not having this attitude of entitlement. You know, I could lose her at any point. She could be tired of my shit. So that's why, again, you know, I don't want to have the attitude. I keep that attitude in check, and I increase my position of gratitude. You know, 8 years ago, we didn't travel. Period. I didn't know what a cruise ship was. I didn't know. I mean, I knew of the islands. Only time I was in one of the islands was in the Navy, and half that time I got in trouble, got restricted to the boat. Still don't remember what the heck I did to get restricted to the boat. Ain't that crazy? Still don't remember what the heck I did. Ugh, but a lot of times, and no, let me say this. I can't even tell you when I recognized that that negative energy was eating me up inside and switched to looking for positive energy, being positive, doing positive, living positive, because those positive points, it's helped me to stay in a calm, like the dog whisperer, a calm, submissive state of mind. Because when you're in a calm, submissive state of mind, the dog, dogs won't attack you. They'll actually respect you. You know, that calm, submissive state of mind lets the people in your life and in your situation around you know that, hey, he'll listen now. He'll understand now. You know, there's a song. There's a gospel song. We'll understand it better by and by. Well, the by and by takes a while. You know, the by and by takes a moment in time in your life. That one little drop of a moment that you'll never get back. That by and by, when you realize that you need to switch up, when you realize, you know, the situation is will the outcome will be better with a positive attitude, with a positive outlook in life. You know, a lot of times I get held up at or breakdown or something like that. A lot of times that's my situation, and we get upset. We get upset. Man, I gotta make it to the dinner. Blah blah blah. Well, you know what? When it happens now, you know what? It is what it is. You know. Yeah, I would like to make it on such and such time, but at this point, it is what it is. Because when you let that stress eat you up inside, and you start spewing out that fire and that anger and that pain and that suffering, you know, you're you're hurting yourself even worse. Well, you know how we do. You know how we do. I'm gonna tell. I got to tell. I got to tell you about it. Most people don't have to tell about because they know what they're doing. They know that they're trying to take advantage of you because they know that you're probably a nice person. They know. They know. So what good is it? Well, it made me good, feel good for a second. Yeah, like you said, a second. That's why I don't know why. I don't know why. I think it's me trying to go back a few steps. I'll be looking at them Karen videos and I'll be like, I'd have knocked her the block of the black of like no. Then I'd have been in jail, lost my job, and no. I just look. I need to stay away from. Just stay away. Walk away. Learn how to walk away. walk walk away, brother. Walk away. But it is what again. It is what it is. Man, I can feel my sinuses going hey freaking wire. Ugh. Think I'm gonna get some C. What's that? Cialis. Try that. But that Sudafed raising my blood pressure. Well, you don't need that. Oh boy. But it is what it is. The only thing I don't like about driving down to the Mexican border is you can see it's freaking nothing out here. And a lot of times what keeps you awake is, the lights and, looking at the storefronts, taking a glance at it. Oh, boy. And there's nothing to look at, as y'all can see, but the Twilight Zone street. or or the this is like the Close Encounters, you know, when they're in somewhere that place that's in on the movie Close Encounters. That's somewhere in Montana, I believe. Isn't that crazy? Somewhere in Montana. But you know, shoot. Yeah, let me slow down. Jesus. Oh boy. Yep, I got just enough time to make it there and new time to find parking. But hey, it's all good. We gonna make it happen. Ma- We're gonna make it last forever. It's so funny. You ever um do karaoke and you just swear because you sing that song a million times that you could sing, and then you actually do the karaoke and you sound like crap. Oh, oh. We were on the last two ships. I did that. And one, I don't see how my, why she loves doing it, but I was so out of tune, and oh man, and, and for me to be singing it so bad, I got hit with a copyright strike. So that was bad. That's bad, bad. I mean, singing it so bad, and you hear yourself singing, your stomach starts gurgling. It's so bad that your butt itches. God. Oh man. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's bad. But, you know. Oh, oh man. I should go in there. Oh shit. Oh, whoa. Man. I don't believe I'm on fart fumes. I forgot about that. Oh boy, I hope this oh, I literally forgot about that. Wow. Oh, that would have been too cool. That would be that would have been cool at all. Luckily, boy. See, I start talking with y'all, be forgetting stuff. Hey, Dre, I didn't even notice you was in there. How you doing? uh, oh boy. Oh, let's see here. Let's see. Let me see here. Hopefully this place takes my car. Well, if we don't, we're gonna be in trouble. Oh, it looks like it. It's all good. 57848. Now I have to prepare to get out of the truck. I have to prepare. But just bear with me for a second, guys. Let's see if this thing can take my car. Oh, well, maybe I need to pull up a little bit. But if I pull up, uh, dang it. Let's see how we're gonna do this. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pull up. Hey, let me know if y'all lose me on audio. We know that's what happens around here. Hold on, because the truck GPS, the the, tr- the truck microphone takes over. see. Alrighty. Uh, change duty status. Confirm. Boy, I got mere seconds to get this thing to the 57848. I got mere seconds to get this thing to where I gotta go. God, old 57848. Do 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 do. Let's see here. Do, 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 do. Okay. Let me see. Dang it. Let's see here. Do 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 do. Oh, let's see here. Let's see. I don't know if these guys take EFS. Uh oh, somebody sent me a message. Let's see. Oh, shoot. Let me walk in there and see if they accept this card. Oh. All right, let me get all my numbers and stuff together before I walk in there and look all stupid. You know what I mean? Shoot. Actually, I didn't see no. Let's see. Oh, brother. Let's see here. What time is it? Okay, guys, I'm going to, instead of me leaving y'all hanging and y'all hear nothing but quiet, uh, we're going to go ahead and close out. And I just want to say thank you for y'all coming in and hearing me out. And but again, um, it's a growing, it's a growing situation. It's a growing understanding. Um, we've all been there. Um, we've all been there with in relationships, in the work environment, in home, in life, with friends, with family. Um, there's so much that we'll take and so much that we will blow off until we have to understand that, you know, our attitude Our attitudes don't always have to be so negative. They can be positive. They can be understanding. We can be positive. We can be understanding. Um, if you think you got an attitude, just check yourself. There's nothing wrong with it. We all are willing to change. I know I am. You know, like you always say, check yourself before you wreck yourself, and all that. Stuff like that. That's part of it. Be be that part of be that person that'll be more understanding, more um, caring, because the blessings will come when you become that good and rightful person that God wants you to be. Again, I thank y'all for coming in. Um, Always know that if you don't think no one loves you or cares about you, know that God loves you and I love you too. Y'all have a blessed day. See you tomorrow.